We're considering a video. You want to proceed?
Yes. I'd like to show a video.
Since Ms. Rangel's had a chance to preview it, are we going to have objection or do we know?
It's subject to the foundation. There's no objection yet.
All right. Go ahead, Ms. Pardon me?
No.
You can open the drawer on the side. Should be a little. Usually on the tray,
right
button
there.
on the tray.
And Your Honor, before he plays that, just for the record, for the court's information, I viewed two videos on different discs. At first, I was shown a video on Mr. W's computer, but because of if these are introduced, they'd have to be submitted for the court for possible appeal later. He showed me the videos on separate discs, and then for marking purposes, we've asked the clerk to mark them with the Sharpie marker actually on the disc so that everything stays
So we're
clear.
You're not talking about the disc you earlier.
No,
Okay, so to keep these two clear, all right.
correct.
I take it the process we're going to follow here requires the officer to look at the video and then authenticate it. Is that what we're going to do? Okay. And no, I won't see it at this point, so it's not in evidence.
Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
Proceed.
Your Honor, I'm going to ask that the entire video not be played. I think a portion of it would suffice for identification purposes with questions.
That will suffice. I'll rely upon you, Mr. Rango, you, Mr. Warren, to tell me when you think we've reached the point when we can attempt authentication. Is this just video or audio and video both? Okay.
Both.
Are we at that point?
That's my voice.
Right there.
Yeah, I can't find any insurance information that has it.
All right, up until this point, let the record reflect that the court has not viewed the video nor understood virtually any of the audio until the last couple of seconds when the officer was identified, apparently. So go ahead.
Mr. Gamwell, is that your voice in the video?
Yes, it is.
Is that you in the video?
Well, it doesn't show my face, but it's my voice.
Does that video show the interior of my truck?
It shows your steering wheel.
And that shows it from that video camera appears to be in the interior?
In the interior, looking up from under the dash towards the steering wheel or something is what it looks like.
Okay. And based on what you saw and heard, was that from December 18, 2010?
Yes.
Okay. I would suggest that it's been authenticated. I'd like to
Mr.
admit
Rango?
it.
I won't object.
All right. It's admitted. This is G or what?
F.
F. Oh, that's right. Okay. I don't know if you want to rewind and go through it at this point, or what do you intend to do with this?
I just have more questions about the video for Mr. Gamwell.
Go ahead.
In the video that you just saw, or at least the portion of it, were you searching for evidence of DUI or intoxication?
At that point, I'm looking for the registration and the insurance, the registration to complete the inventory form, which your information, your vehicle information all goes on that form. It's much easier to take it off the registration. Later on, you'll hear that I can't find that, and I have to run it on the MDT, which is our mobile data terminal, to get that information to complete the form that we're talking about.
And did this search occur before or after you arrested me?
It was after.
And I'd like to go to the second video. I'm sorry. We did enter this as evidence, right?
Okay, since I haven't seen this full video yet, and it may become relevant in some other way later on, just tell me, summarize for me, Mr. what the video shows.
Very, very similar. Same person inside doing an inventory. But
No, I mean this one we just partially heard.
that would be a search of a vehicle that was not an inventory search.
Objection, Your Honor. He's characterizing evidence. I think
Well,
the court should view it for itself.
Sustained. I don't know any conclusions about it. I just want to know simply what it shows.
That shows the interior of my vehicle on December 18, 2010, entered by Mr. Gamwell, and
And the entire video, that's what it shows?
yeah, about 4 minutes.
And what portion of your vehicle does it supposedly show?
Driver's side, steering wheel mostly.
A stationary shot, or
Yes.
is it?
Your Honor, I'm sorry. It'll be really simple just to turn the monitor around the laptop, and it shows what he's saying.
Well, I think I understand it sufficiently. If we have to look at it later, we will. But it does not show you. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, okay. All right. Unless either side wants me to look at it right now, I'm going to pass on that for the moment. Okay. So you're proceeding with introducing another video. Is that right?
Yes.
And this one has been seen by Ms. Arango?
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, before we get to authentication, is there going to be an objection, or do we know?
Well, Your Honor, could I ask Officer Gamble a couple of questions with regard
Right.
to that?
This is what's called taking the witness on voir dire, Mr. Which is permissible to determine the authenticity or admissibility of an exhibit.
Officer Gamble, did you have the opportunity to view a second video similarly situated as far as a video camera showing the steering wheel of the defendant's vehicle during recess earlier?
Just this video was the only video I viewed.
Okay. Were there in fact two videos that were played?
There was two that were played. I couldn't see it. You guys had the screen turned.
Okay.
Still had my voice on it. You could hear the tone of the key when the key was turned on to retain the mileage of the vehicle. You could hear that.
Okay. So did you recognize it as video of the inventory process?
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, based upon that, I don't have any objection to the second video.
All right. There's no objection, Mr. So it means you don't have to establish the normal foundation, but you can lay whatever foundation you wish. So remove this disc, please, and give it to the clerk or marshal so that we can get it marked. And this one we're going to mark on the disc, as I heard counsel request. It already is marked? Oh, very good. Okay.
For identification purposes, can we make sure we're on the right letter? What has it been marked as?
F, is that right? And this one would be G, as I understand.
Okay. All right, thank you.
And it is admitted. So, contrary to the last one, Mr. Warren, I can look at this one. You want to kind of turn that around?
Once I get it started.
Officer, it might facilitate matters if you step down so that everybody's looking at it from roughly the same angle.
Can you see it, Judge, or does it need?
I'm okay.
Hey, Rich, there's a white Chevy Malibu at the very end of this row of cars here. My J3s. Okay, Dad's on his way to pick it up. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it here, and I gotta take off for a blood draw because he's DUI marijuana. Oh, it's the Indian? No. Oh, another one on top of that. Okay, alrighty. Alrighty. The white? No, yeah, it's Chevy four-door down at the end. Okay, thank you. I'll be back. Oh.
Okay.
All right, officer, you want to take the seat again, please? Go ahead,
Mr. Gamwell, you appear in that video?
Well, it doesn't show my face, but I know it's me.
Okay. And is that video from December 18, 2010?
I believe so, yes.
Is that the interior of my vehicle?
Yes.
Does that occur after my arrest?
Yes.
Did we admit it? I'd like to admit it now.
Pardon me?
Did we admit it?
It's admitted.
Okay. All right.
It's been admitted.
And what were you doing at that time?
During this, I was doing the inventory of your vehicle. In the back seat portion, there was a thing where you can see where it says scientific camera, and I have a question mark behind it. I couldn't figure out what it was. I wasn't sure what that was, a little square thing that I kept looking at.
Okay.
That's why there's a question mark behind it, because I wasn't sure if it was or not.
Are you reading from a...
I'm looking at my inventory list.
Oh, I see. You brought that with you?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. Did you document some or all of the contents of on the inventory
The contents
report?
were of any value or on that list where it says list of property. You should have a copy of that.
And you mentioned a camera and a seat.
Well, I believed it to be a camera.
Is that the object that you...
Objection, Your Honor. The photograph is not in evidence yet. Foundation needs to be laid first.
Have to authenticate the exhibit, and this would be Exhibit H for identification. So you need to ask Officer Gamwell what that is and if he recognizes it, what the picture is.
The item that I just provided as an exhibit, do you recognize the item?
Yeah, I believe this was the
Recognize
item that I
anything?
thought was a camera. This was on the back seat, not in the position that it's shown. It was on the back seat. I didn't know what it was. That's why there's a big question mark on the inventory sheet.
Okay. That item in that picture was in my vehicle when you inventoried it, correct?
It was on the back seat. It was not where you're showing this picture here.
Right.
It was on the back seat.
Okay, I have a truck.
It was a, well, it's not a standard cab. It's an extended cab truck.
Okay.
And it was not at the headrest when I located it. It was behind.
I see. And do you know what that object is?
I thought it'd be a camera, and that's why it's got a question mark behind it. I believe that's the item that you look at that I'm looking at. I'm not sure what it is.
Oh, you handled it.
It was in the back seat. I looked at it quite extensively because I'd never seen something like that, and that's why I put that I thought it was a camera.
Right. Can we admit that now?
I'm going to object. There's been no foundation. That photograph shows a camera that, according to the witness, was not in that location. So he has no personal knowledge to authenticate, lay a proper foundation for the admission of that particular photograph. We don't know who took it, when it was taken, and according to the officer's testimony, it does not depict where it was found.
Before I decide that, Mr. Ask the officer if he recognizes the circumstances of the photo, which he may not, of course, if he didn't take it. But does he recognize the setting of the photo?
Well, he's already testified that that is the seat of my truck.
Well,
And it
I'm
was
not
not
so
there.
sure that he did, but
Do you recognize anything else in the photo besides the
Well, this is a headrest and a seat to a vehicle. Now, whether it's your truck or not, I don't know.
Okay.
And this looks like the item that I looked at that was in the back seat, but, it's been, almost 2 years now?
Okay, I'm going to admit it again for a limited purpose that it appears to the officer to be the item that he saw that evening. Whether it's in the same location and whether it is in fact that item is not a basis for admission, but he has testified that it appears to be that camera in some isolated circumstance, and that's the only basis upon which it's admitted. That's Exhibit H.
May I proceed?
Yes, proceed.
Did you tamper with the camera?
I looked at it. You can see me in the reflection or the view, turning it around, looking at it. It was laying there, and that's where I got the name off the side. It says scientific on the side, but I wasn't sure what it was.
Did you unscrew a cover?
Objection, Your Honor. Witness is still answering the question.
Yeah, let him finish the. Did you finish, officer?
I may have unscrewed the cover trying to figure out what it was. To look at it, I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to list it on the inventory until I determined I'd opened it up and looked at it and thought it was a camera. And that's why on the inventory slip you'll see camera in parentheses with a question mark right after it.
Did you access its batteries?
No.
Did you access its memory card?
No.
Did you press its control buttons?
No.
What was the beep that we heard in the audio video while you were handling the camera?
I have no idea.
Did you try to erase the video from the
I
camera?
wouldn't have known how. I didn't know what it was.
Did you remove the camera as evidence? For
No,
the
I did not.
Police department or the city? Did you remove the camera at all?
No, it stayed in the car.
Did you inventory a spiral-bound notebook?
No.
Did you inventory another camera?
The hidden one? No.
The hidden one?
The one that apparently took all the video, I was unaware of it.
Okay, but that would be pretty valuable, wouldn't it? A camera would be worth a few $100, wouldn't it?
I didn't know it was there.
But didn't you search for registration and insurance and anything else?
That would have been in the glove box. The interior of the car, over the just typical places people keep those. I'm looking for registration and insurance.
What time did you exit my vehicle in that video right there?
You have to look. It would have been after your arrest. The time of the report is not recorded. It's got the date there. Would have been after your arrest.
And at some time after I was arrested, did you learn that I did in fact take a breath test?
Officer Atkins advised me that you had taken a preliminary breath test at the jail, yes.
And did you learn the results of that test?
Objection, Your Honor. Not admissible. Results of a preliminary breath test. There's no foundation for that.
That's accurate, at least under this line of questioning, Mr. Objection sustained.
Did you witness anybody else enter or exit my vehicle?
Other than the tow driver, no.
Did you receive statements from Brett Vinley, Daniel Bickerton, and Joey Deal on December 18, 2010?
I took several statements. I'd have to check my report to see who they were.
And was that before or after you did the inventory?
It was more than likely after. They would have been preparing their statements in the command center while I was doing the inventory, more than likely.
Now, did you realize that the camera may have recorded events and may have served as evidence of a crime?
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation.
Let me recall the question exactly. Sustained.
Did you conspire with any other person to conceal, remove, or destroy evidence, specifically the Oregon Scientific Camera and or a spiral-bound notebook?
Absolutely not.
Do you have any knowledge of others concealing, removing, or destroying that camera or a spiral-bound notebook?
No, I do not.
Did you sign a complaint against me for DUI?
No, I did not.
Did you sign a complaint against me for possessing a firearm while intoxicated?
No, I did not.
Did you sign a complaint against me for obstructing a public officer?
Yes, I did.
Did you sign a complaint against me for not having proof of insurance?
Yes, I did.
And do you have the power or privilege to sign a complaint for a gross misdemeanor or a felony?
No, I
Objection,
don't.
Your Honor. Relevance.
Sustained.
Did you attempt to have me prosecuted for a gross misdemeanor, obstructing with a firearm?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance. And he's already testified there was no complaint.
I'll sustain it again.
What was the result of the prosecution of the lack of proof of insurance charge?
Objection, Your Honor. That's not for this witness to testify, not within his...
What was the question again? What was
What was the
relevance
result of the prosecution of the lack of proof of insurance charge?
What was the relevance? What does that mean, Mr.? Oh, the relevance. The relevance to what? You were charged with no insurance. I'm not sure. I'll sustain the objection. I don't know what you mean, even.
Mr. Gamwell, did you fear being prosecuted for malicious prosecution?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance.
I'll sustain it on that basis. This line of questioning, Mr. Warren, even to be pursued, if it were relevant, it's going to establish some further basis, but I think it's also potentially argumentative and maybe speculative as well, but so it's sustained.
Did you sign those complaints hoping to obtain a conviction and immunize yourself from a lawsuit?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance, argumentative, speculation.
Sustained.
No more questions.
Cross.